this episode, we follow Karen and her ability to figure out and find who this exclusive chip dealer is, and they find themselves in a time loop. This is Split Screen. Hey everyone, it's Split Screen. I'm Tony,
And I'm done.
and today we are recapping, reviewing Retroactive,
Retroactive.
from 1997.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie.
Mm.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like to give Don his props, and when he wants when it's something he truly likes that's not torturing, it's usually very good. I appreciate the back and forth.
This movie's charming.
Let's get into the top three things
Okay.
about it,
All right.
because I was going to start talking about it, but I'm like, I might as well make those my three things.
Okay.
First and foremost, really tight narrative for what it was. When you do, this is where people mess up in time. They want to be complicated, and then they take something complicated, boring nonsense, and then they add time on top of it. So then you're being trapped in this slog fest.
Yeah.
Where this was a very tight knit group of characters. There was just enough for variety as you kind of jump from timeline to timeline,
Mhm.
and they made sure that each time they did it, they introduced that next element. They
Yeah.
went from the beginning to, I think, the trucker. Well, the cop and the trucker were, I think, were the first two elements. And every time you went back, it kind of progressed and progressed, and it got crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was cool. So with that being said, the time loop shenanigans I thought had good escalation, from the way the characters were to them kind of learning how to navigate the new timeline with the past information they had. Is that two? I'm gonna say that's two.
Yep.
With my third one being, I love that the bad guy got to do the time looping. Typically, this is something where it's like a trial and error of the good guys.
Mm.
But then it's like, oh no, the bad guy went back too. He remembers, oh, this random kid who ended up hostage now knows, and now he's a important part
Yeah.
in her getting out of there because he remembers everything.
It was good.
So there's that good kind of pacing slash escalation.
This was well
think-
paced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, the Don does it sometimes. Three pros for
Nice.
me.
Nice. Wow. Like that.
I'll
Thank
give
you.
it to you.
And well, I'm glad I introduced this to you. So
Mhm.
my three things is this is a low budget movie that came out in the late 90s,
Mhm.
and they did a great job. I mean, they didn't have a lot of locations. I mean, like you said, it was
Desert.
lean. It was
Gas station.
they used what
Base.
they had, and they used it well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was, they had the road,
Rope,
they had the gas station,
the base,
and the base,
and,
and
I
that
think
was it.
Really the
And-
car.
But I mean, it was so tight that you didn't mind it was a repeat of everything over and over. I mean, I heard people say, this is like a violent version of Groundhog Day, but no. I mean, this is just another. I thought this was. I'll give this the second one. It was a well-written small film,
Yeah.
and I love that. The characters were engaging,
Mhm.
and you enjoyed them. Is it James Belushi? Yeah, Jim is one. Anyway, Frank.
Yeah.
He did such a great job as
Mhm.
just chewing up the scenery, over the top, bad guy, and he goes from being, a flirty redneck in a car to a killer, and then we get to repeat that stuff again in
Mhm.
different, just
Yeah.
varying
And-
different ways.
And the anti-ups every time. So
Yeah.
he's more and more kind of chaotic and crazy and more of a killer.
Karen
and-
was great.
Yeah.
The woman who played Karen, which is Kylie Travis, she did a great job. I mean, she was believable in
Yeah.
this role. She was a disgraced psychologist. She was actually from Chicago, and her backstory was that there was a bomber or something like that, or somebody holding hostages, and the hostages all died. So she ended up leaving and going back to Texas because I guess that's where she was originally from.
She's a Texas
So
girl.
she gets sucked into this time loop adventure,
Mhm.
and that was great. Rianne, Frank's girlfriend, she didn't really have a character. She was there to be the better woman, but she did a great job for what she had.
And they kind of gave her
Brian?
vindication.
I always liked Brian, the guy who played Brian. I don't remember his name offhand. It is Yes, James Belushi, Frank Whaley. He was in one of my favorite movies from I can believe Opportunity Knocks,
Mm-mm.
1990,
All right.
and he's a loser uh, who lies about everything in a small town, and his parents make him, he's an adult now, so his parents make him get a job at Target,
Okay.
and he ends up becoming a man there.
Mm-hmm.
And Jennifer Connelly is the girl. She's running away from home. She's a rich girl and she's not happy with her life. So she ends up hiding out the Target the same
Mm-hmm.
time as his first night there and changes his life. And have you never seen that movie, huh?
Mm-mm.
Oh, we'll have to watch it.
All
It
right.
is such a good. It's got Betty Boo, who does the songs.
I don't know that.
Oh man, they roller skated. Anyway, I'm happy to see him in this, because this is, 7 years apart, and he's an adult man. But he did a great job as
Mm-hmm.
well. The gas station guy,
Sam.
Sam, he's been in a lot of movies like
Yeah.
this, but he's always great. He was in one of my favorite. Is it Blood Simple? You seen that?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, he's plays such an evil character. We'll have to watch that.
Okay.
Great movie, and it's one of the first the people who did Raising Arizona, Oh Brother Where Art Thou,
Mm.
uh, did that. It's yeah. And then Rand's lover, he was on.
I feel like he was the
I
only
want to
one
say
that I didn't hear the name of.
I forget what he was on. He was in
Frank
a
was referred to as the guy. I think you always liked them south of the
yeah,
border. It's like what? Because yeah,
and that's the
she's cheating
cast
on
really.
him.
Oh, and the boy,
Yeah, the boy and his
um,
family, but the parents die or they're instant
and
cannon
that
fodder,
was. I actually like that.
and he didn't
When
get
Frank
saved.
gets
And
sent back in time, and the
yeah,
boy's the only one that remembers because
hmm
they didn't get to the machine in time,
yep,
and then he dies. And then they have to go back over. I love this movie,
yeah,
and I guess that's my three because I went on a long time because I can praise this movie because I appreciate it more than just it's an amusing sci-fi,
hmm
you know, time loop adventure. It's just a well crafted movie, and
yeah,
it's a surprise when you watch it because no one's ever heard of it. It used to play back in the day on HBO. It was matter of fact, it was straight to direct to video
hmm
back in the day. It was originally may or may not have been like released in the theaters, but the company at the time, Orion and MGM, were both going through financial troubles,
okay,
so they made more profit by selling things like this direct to video to HBO and Showtime and stuff like that. So it played a lot back then, but I'm sure other than me, I don't think too many people. If you remember it, give us a comment because
mm,
I love this movie. I absolutely love it. I watched it probably back in '97 on
yeah.
late night show because I didn't have any life back then. I was just gothing it around and get home at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and watch these things.
This is a pretty good thing to
Yeah.
watch.
Yes,
You know, if you're gonna come home and it's gonna be late night TV and it's not an infomercial, if Retroactive's on, yeah, it's a
I'm glad you
rewatch
liked it.
each
I'm
time.
glad you
Yeah,
liked it.
I just like quality stuff, man. That's why I don't peruse in the bad stuff or
But
the type of
you
bad
would have
you
thought
do.
this would have been bad, though. I mean, even
Uh,
the name doesn't not very descriptive.
yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, that's really the
If
question
you
because
see
it's
the
nothing
name,
to do
you'd
with
be like, nah,
time travel. When I saw it, I was like, what?
yeah, great
Yeah,
time travel adventure.
mhm,
Lots of killings. Lots of Frank slaughters everybody at
yeah,
some point. Except for the lead,
yeah. He goes
and just
crazy,
yeah, no.
even worse than he is.
Should we explain a little bit? Tell a little bit.
Mm,
2
yeah,
minutes of you know how it starts and what
sure.
happens, and give them the spoiler because we spoil everything. At least
All right.
I do. So
Okay. Well, she's clearly looking for Frank. This whole thing is kind of a setup, like her car being, you
hmm?
know, hmm?
What? No, she wasn't looking for Frank.
No.
No, she was going home because she was disgraced from her
Oh, that's
job.
right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, she was. She got. She's
She actually only
she
got looped up into this because of
yeah,
the
because
yeah
she accidentally she gets distracted and drives off the road and
yeah
breaks her car, and Frank just happens to be coming by at the same time
yeah yeah. Okay.
and picks her up because he's like, oh, I'll take you to the. See, I can't do like kind of Texan accent, so I'm not going to try. I'll take you. Yeah, see, you
hmm
could probably do it. You were in Arizona. Yeah, yeah.
I would have no
I
idea how to
think you
do that.
could probably do a good Texan accent. Go ahead, try. Let me try. You
No.
all ain't got a lot of sense. Give me that
You
beer.
you all
See, yeah,
you all
jaw,
ain't got a lot of
jaw.
sense.
Yeah, no, you suck
Exactly. I
at
knew
it.
this. Anyway,
Anyway, so she
so
gets, she hitches a ride from Frank.
yep, he's fighting with Rayanne. It's a weird conversation. Yada yada yada.
Well, he's
Uh,
like smacking her around, you know. But he also suspects. He gets told at the gas station that
yeah,
she's been seeing a guy.
because I guess Sam he hired to get PI photos of her and the lover, or like I was just kind of like, okay, he just had these
He was
photos.
suspicious, so
He
uh,
made Sam do it.
yeah,
Okay,
he's
gotcha.
like, hey, could you check this out?
Yeah,
Because Frank is too busy, running semiconductors.
yeah, that was that. And this all started because of semiconductors. This like semiconductor.
That really wasn't a big part of this. The only reason it was there was so Frank would know Brian,
Yeah,
or scientist, because Frank smuggling semiconductors from where?
yeah.
Just
But it was
top
weird.
secret. Where's Frank getting these semiconductors?
Yeah.
It
Was also
didn't
weird that the
matter because
guy.
this movie isn't for that kind of critique.
Yeah. So then my question would be: was the guy in the truck there just to get Rayanne because that's his lover, but he was also trying to get the
Later on, we
chips?
find out that he was, yeah,
Okay.
and I didn't. It didn't really matter because he eventually,
Well, yeah. I mean, a few of these characters were just meant
yeah.
to get taken out.
So what happens is, Frank picks her up. They go to the gas station, and at the gas station, he finds out from Sam that Rayanne is seeing the guy that they passed in the truck.
Yes.
So he ends up killing Rayanne,
Hmm.
and then he's going to kill Karen because Karen saw him do that. So she takes off and gets jumps a fence and goes into a research facility run by Brian,
Hmm.
who just happens to be doing a time experiment.
Yeah.
And
Last day in the
she
office.
she
Pentagon's closing
yeah,
again.
he opens up the door for her, and she ends up running in and stepping on the platform and gets sent back 20 minutes because at the time the machine could only go back for 20 minutes. That's all it
Yes.
was programmed for. Anything more would be a big explosion,
Yeah.
for some reason.
Which we see.
Yeah, which
When
we
you mention
see.
something, we better see it.
So she ends up being 20 minutes in the past, but that puts her back in the car, and so she has to relive that. And every time she relives, because she does it 5 times, maybe something like that.
Probably like
Every time
five.
she gets sent back to the loop, things escalate with Frank. Frank kills more people.
Mm.
Every time she tries to change something, someone dies.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
the,
pretty much almost all her fault in every
yeah,
situation up until the very end, where she's kind of like, you know
yeah, but what are
what?
you gonna do? I mean, because she tries in the car.
Oh, I'm not saying
The
it was bad that
second
she
time around,
tried.
she's like, "No, Frank, you're a dick. I
Yeah,
just
she's
want to."
looking for his gun.
Yeah,
She's trying to.
but then the cop pulls over and he kills the cop.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, no, she pulls Frank's gun, and
Yeah,
then the
holds it
cop
to him.
shows up,
Mhm.
and then Frank kills the cop. So she keeps escalating it, and then the
Yeah,
next time
I think the
she's
truck guy gets
flirty with
involved.
him, all flirty, which
Yeah.
pisses off Rayanne,
Hmm.
and then starts the whole process all over again.
Yeah, where Rayanne is actually like holding the gun, and
And then at some point we're introduced to a family of three, a husband, wife, and child,
yeah,
who get drawn into it. Is it the first time they die? They
no, the
the
first time they actually leave.
Yeah, they leave.
Yeah,
Then the second time the parents die, and the boy, she takes the boy to the platform to go back in time again, but she misses that.
yeah.
And that
Oh, that was
so
the car
he and Frank,
crash.
yeah.
Because the car. So
And
these
then but she
parents,
eventually kills her.
yeah, these parents every time seem to be destined to crash
They're
into this
they're
gas
they're
station
like completely
and
out of it, aren't they?
explode. Which is funny because she comes out the car holding the kid and rolls out before the
That was a
explosion.
great scene.
And I'm like, okay.
I love that scene.
And then they all go
Yeah.
back.
And then she does it again. Only this time she's like, "You got to program it for an hour because that's the only way this is going to work." And he's like, "Oh no, it'll explode if I do that." But you got to do it anyway. And at the same time, Frank has also come back and gone back in time once,
Yeah, it's like the last
so he
two
knows that
times.
something's going on as
Yeah,
well. So he's involved with it. No, he gets left out
the very, very last time.
yeah.
But the two times before, he's pretty much part of it.
No, one time. Only one time.
Mm,
Because remember, she goes back. He goes through it with the boy.
I feel like it's two.
And then the boy dies the next time, but she gets back and says, "We got to go back an hour."
Yeah,
And he doesn't go back. He tries. He's almost there,
Okay.
but they go back in time because they're on a platform and he's got the gun on him because he's going to kill him. But
Yeah.
of
'Cause I feel
course,
like he goes back once, and then there's a scuffle where Brian meets like so. There's a part.
he just goes back
The
once.
time goes back further. Well, no, because there's a part where they get there
Yeah. See,
and he's there already on standing on the base now.
but they fight him and get him off of it, and then go back. That's when
Okay.
they set it for an hour,
Okay.
and then they go back.
That was their scuffle.
Yeah, that was their scuffle. So he made it there, but he didn't make it to go back in
Okay.
time. And so that's pretty much what happens with the movie. And then at the end, the last leap, they go back in time an hour. She informs the police that Frank is up to no good. Of course, that leads Frank to kill everybody at the gas station.
Yeah.
Luckily, the family drives by and they see like the police there, so they just keep on going. And then
One of the
Rayanne
few times they live.
is the only survivor with Frank, but she's got the gun now, and because he smacked her around and killed her lover,
And Karen said, "Take
she
care
goes
of
ahead and-
yourself this time." When she doesn't choose to go with him.
she goes she kills Frank, and then she goes to jail.
Yeah.
And that was it. And Brian comes and picks Karen up because I guess now they're a couple.
I didn't know. What
I
that
guess
was.
he needed to give her a ride.
Yeah.
But great movie. I absolutely love this movie. I adore this movie, and I've watched it several times. And it's not streaming anywhere, so you have to watch it through the way we watched it, which was on YouTube.
Yeah.
We don't recommend that kind of behavior, but this movie's worth watching. You know, I mean, it's worth remembering that it was made, that it exists, and it's sad that that companies don't really make movies. I mean, because we could compare this. This is a low budget movie that came out in '97. The last low budget movie we just watched, Contortionist.
Black Box.
Yeah, Black Box. That's considered a low budget movie, and it can't even come close to the charm of this one.
Yeah. Well, it had nothing to say. It wasn't really doing
It's bland.
anything.
It suffers from being bland and boring. This movie was the exact opposite.
Yeah. You can tell by like the strength of the characters, because again, every character was really
They held out the part.
stand out, and you watched them become more themselves as they got more information, got through more interactions. Frank was always Frank.
I love it. I mean, in 2025, I have problems with all these like super empowered female can kick a 300-pound man's ass and that kind of stuff, and they're 90 pounds. This was a woman that was put in a situation, and she was strong. Yeah. She did what she had to do. She could not fist fight Frank.
No.
And it wasn't required.
Yeah.
So they didn't make her all powerful. That she was very fallible, you know, all the way through this.
A lot of times she messed up.
But she was a good, solid, strong character.
Yeah.
You know? And
even for the real life, she had to stop playing hero that way and actually let this stuff play out, because it wasn't working.
She had to take herself out of it.
Yeah. She went ahead and told the cop and let the cop do his job.
Yeah. So I have to ask, we're at the end.
Yeah.
What is your rating on this?
4 out of 5.
I would give it a 4.5. I would put this in one of my favorite movies.
First time for everything. Don has knighted Retroactive.
I respect these movies, these low budget movies that came out back then, because excuse me, the people that did it, they had skill. They were on a budget. They got the best that they can do, and you can tell they get the best. The acting was great, so they got these character actors together. They got the sets together. The lighting was there, and a lot of it was natural lighting. So much of it, you could tell that someone cared about what they did, versus the other movie. No, no one cared about bodies doing it. They only said, "Hey, let's just put a camera here and shoot you guys in a wide shot," which is most of what bodies seem to be. This one, every single shot is planned and executed,
and it has to be based on the budget, and also the fact that we're time looping, which to do it on a low budget and have it be this kind of narratively tight. I think the only thing I can think of that's different is like Memento or something, where different movie completely, guys. But still was this kind of like time looping thing. So no, fantastic.
So definitely a recommendation.
Yeah. And you guys should recommend us other stuff to watch.
Yeah,
Along
yeah.
with like, comment,
If
subscribe.
for me, if there are any lost movies like this, I love lost movies in time.
Hmm.
I mean, without a doubt, discovering something I never saw that came out 30 years ago that still today I would consider a great movie. Not
Yeah.
dated, because this movie didn't feel dated in any way.
Hmm.
Yeah,
No, not at all. No,
yeah,
for its time and the way it was, and yeah, it was great.
yeah. So if you have any recommendations for me on things that I might have forgotten,
Yeah.
although I've seen a lot of stuff from back then. Like I said, I didn't have any life. Not that I have any life now. My life's actually kind of sad.
Well,
This is the only highlight of my life, is doing these videos.
he's here for you guys, and
I'm
for
I,
that reason,
I'm here for you.
please engage, comment,
Comment,
like,
like,
subscribe,
thumbs up.
all the good stuff.
Yeah,
And we appreciate your time as always. This
yeah.
was Split Screen.
And we're gonna go
The
out.
Don gave us another good movie. I'll give him his props when he does. But that's it, guys. We're going to talk about other random things on our way out
Oh,
of
we
this.
can still talk about radioactive.
We can stop.
Retroactive. I said radioactive.
You know, I looked up Radioactive, and at first I was like,
Oh,
is
that's
this even
another
a
movie.
I was like, I don't think he's talking about this.
I've seen Radioactive. That's an '80s movie, which is not good, but I kind of want to watch it.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we watched Radioactive because when looking for Retroactive, we found this. So here we are.
Yeah.
Is it any good?
Yeah, but like I said, I love this movie. I think it's
No, really well done.
yeah. And there's a whole bunch of these movies. I mean, I think some of my other recommendations will be this type.
Okay.
I mean that direct to HBO 1993 and that kind of stuff. That only a handful of pathetic people like me still.
You'll have to remember the two you mentioned today. Because you mentioned two.
Did I?
During that episode. That we should watch. Can't remember either. So.
Ernest Saves Christmas. Ernest Goes to Space.
No, none of those.
Oh.
Either of those. Is that something you're trying to torture me with, Ernest? One of these?
No, I don't even think I could sit through that.
Okay, I was about to like, Ernest. Oh, man.
No. Trying to think of what two. There's Deep Rising, although that was in the theaters.
Yeah. Well, once it's up, we'll watch it and figure it out.
All right, so we're out of here. Ready? 3, 2, 1.